Well, I'm doing an interview today with Stitch Celebrat. I'm going to be asking some questions that I believe that his fans or, his followers, his subscribers might be wanting to ask him or have asked him through his inbox. The first question I'm going to start with is, who is Stitch?
Um, Stitch the Lab Rat is just a poet trying to get his message across. You know, a voice for those who are lost in the dark.
Okay, and where did you acquire the name Stitch Celebrat at?
Stitch comes from Stitch is a nickname my wife gave me for which it's you and me doing this interview, so go let everybody know out there, so anybody watching with their girl, this is my team, so I support y'all the way y'all support us. But Stitch comes from the little nickname you gave me, man. And every time I find myself going to go handle my own business in the world and my own, personal relationships with my circles, my loved ones, and you say every time I come back, you say you got man, look at you. Like I'll be in my own zone, or I'll be like, I feel like I'm not hungry right now, something like that. You like, man, come over here. I didn't understand it, but you said you found yourself stitching me up all the time, and you called me Stitches. The Lab Rat, man, it comes from a real good friend of mine. A lot of people know him out here in these streets, man, and behind a lot of his music and his just who he is, man, being, and man, once again, that I just ran with that. I put some of the two greatest factors in my life, one of my inspirations to write, look up to growing up, being, and then I still covered in stitches,
Yeah. Oh, and what made you want to come out and like start making a YouTube channel and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Like to begin with.
Well, really, I started doing it because I get anxious a lot. A lot of people, like I'm a lab rat, man. Like I said, I got a backstory that I'll do later on, but I get real anxious, so I write a lot of poetry, and I got inspired by you to put my poetry into a rhythm, like the people I used to look up to growing up, and the stuff I listened to calm me down. So it's like self-therapy.
That's pretty good. And this first song that you did, the SPM freestyle disc, what made you want to come out with that?
Well, I did that because off the jump, like I've always been like a victim of the system, since I was little and whatnot. But when you started hearing my poetry and I started putting it out there, I knew that my poetry would take me places because my poetry is rap, rhythm and poetry. It's an acronym, and I heard your story, and there's a lot of stuff going on with SPM. I knew that eventually I was gonna hit a crossroads where people were gonna ask me, do I want to jump on a track or do I want to be a part of any of the SPM movement? But I started doing up my own history, my own little digging up and looking up into the history myself because I like to know what I'm getting myself into. And he did, in fact, before he started blowing up, man, get a girl pregnant. I paid for some court transcripts and by Miss Odom. He got the little boy out there with the last name Odom. I don't want to grab the phone and start going through it, but if you wanted to spend a little bit of bread, you can go through the court transcripts yourself and see that he did, in fact, get a 13-year-old pregnant when he was in his early 20s. And, I don't condone any of that. I'm not for any of that. So, that's why I dissed him in the whole Dope House, because you got a lot of rappers who like older gentlemen who come and they see young kids that got talent and they want to take advantage of them and exploit them, and I just felt like it's still happening to this day, and I don't want any part of that at all whatsoever. I don't condone it.
And then you had the second freestyle, which was one of my favorites.
Oh, thanks. I'm just playing with words,
And then you had your third, which is self-explanatory. It's a song dedicated to your son, Diego Jr.
That right there, that right there is I get a little knot in my throat every time I think about my kids. Sorry, but I was victimized in a certain standard degree, to a certain degree, by a woman who came and she tried to exploit a broken system and ended up getting me incarcerated. To tell the truth, I used to be out there in the streets selling drugs, doing anything I could. I never stole. I never robbed people. You know what I'm saying? I I call it a good way. I know I was hurting the community, and that's why I'm doing this, because me being nervous on camera is still showing that I might be able to touch someone in the community, be able to be themselves. You know what I mean? And I hope I can touch my son to be himself and know that no matter what I do, it's always behind him. I try on a daily. And like I said, man, before I go into my own little spurt, there's a system that's broken, and a lot of immigrants come over here, and they find a lot of men who are here who sell drugs, get it off the streets, get out the mud, however you want to put it, and because they can't exploit them, you know what I'm saying, and they start playing this victim role, and you got a lot of people locked up right now for domestic violence, things they didn't do. You got a lot of dudes right now that can't see their own kids, that take their kids away from the dudes because the dude don't want to be with them no more, because he caught them cheating, or because he don't want to give them money, or because they just not who they said they were when they walked into the marriage, and now it's all about money, and all of a sudden, oh, he hit me. Oh, hey, baby, tell him this, tell him this. A lot of dudes right now, a lot of y'all going through it, be like, it be like that sometimes, and this is a voice for my son, man, and this is the way I did it. So let my son know I made a promise that I'll reach out, and I'm going to keep through. I'm a man of my word.
And then the fourth one, the freestyle for the victims.
That right there, man, RIP .9, that's for my nephew, man, and a lot of people, one of my, another inspirations that up north, man, across the country, people be going through it, man, and I know that it's hard, it's hard, it's hard to stay strong, especially when you're alone in the world, when you come from broken homes, broken parents, your broken community, a broken circle of trust, just a bunch of broken things, man. It's hard, and a lot of people have those thoughts. Really, you start having those thoughts at a young age, I mean, if you look at TV these days, think about it, the teenage girl slamming the door, I hate y'all, somebody wants to kill themselves, and it's really not, it's normalized, but it's really not okay, and it needs to be talked about. And I just I'm that voice. So if you feel like you're going through something, or you've been through something, just listen to one of my songs, and you can even reach out to me and tell me your story, and I'll put it in one of my little beakers and come up with a little wordplay.
And then you did the Stitch the Lab Rat Speaks.
Just to talk, excuse me, just, addressing a couple things I got going on in my personal life that have something to do with, like I said, I got a lot of controversy. A lot of people are trying to disassociate themselves with me and try to say we have no history, when I go say that we have no history, it's a lot of these artists I've been knowing since I was a kid, and when I came out with this, the first thing I did was that it goes back to that that way it could be understood that I don't need anybody, that you can be a man, you can do it on your own. So I'm doing this all off my own, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just speaking facts like I'm doing now.
And then you have the clutch flow.
I'm just coming out the clutch. I dropped a 3-pointer, you know what I mean? Something so they could take a picture of me in midair doing that, you know what I'm saying? Doing that, coming out, a rookie coming out of nowhere, coming in the game late. I know I come out here late, but that's what I get for being a product of the system. So I'm out the clutch now.
And then you got wordplay, which is another one of my favorite.
That's just me playing with words. I love words. I love to read. I love to learn words. I love to play word games, and so people say, that's my wordplay. I'm having fun. I do this for fun.
And the social distancing?
That's on a personal level. That's for a lot of damaged women who they either become great and give back to the community, or because see, it's all like it all goes back to the name, a bacterial, a pathogen. You know what I'm saying? It attaches itself to your body, and it either is up to your body, to how you treat your body, and what you ingest into your body is how you're gonna fight off that, that toxin, that it's innate, something that don't need to be there. So if a lot of us are hit with a toxin, with a pathogen, or hit with a disease at a young age, you know, of abuse or molestation or you know, abandonment. You know, how we carry that disease, how it affects us is gonna, and how we treat ourselves, whether we, because we know we got a disease. Once you come to a point in life to where you know you're being abused, or you know that what they did to you was wrong in molestation, or you know where you were abandoned, or you know where you were broken, and it comes to you whether you want to start rehabilitating yourself, you want to cleanse your body of that, you know. And a lot of people don't. They let it succumb them, you know. They embrace it, and they go around and they hurt people with it, man. So there's a molested mind out there somewhere, and a lot of people need to hear that.
And how about this Nightmares on a Boy's Arm?
Man, look, that came out perfect timing. We own the rights to all that, thanks to you. You know, you make just like the beat that's going on in the background. We own the rights to that. That's the H-Town Boogie. You know what I'm saying? That's the song that was supposed to be coming out on my first album. But I found perfect timing for what I'm going through in my personal life right now to drop that song. You know what I mean? And my poetry, really.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs as well. Okay, and
Your favorite everything then, huh?
well, you know, I like all of your music. I'm your biggest fan, I could say. But I like all your music. But that was the very first song that we worked together. Mm-hmm. So, you know,
yeah,
I was very proud of that.
Me too.
Stitch the Lab Rat, the dedication.
That's for my lab rats, man. For everybody who's emotionally unstable. You can see that way I'm coming on that song. I came about at least 2 or 3 different ways to rock a wave, to show that you can be bipolar with words too. People are bipolar all the time. You know, you're not the only ones. You don't have to take pills, you know, just because, you know, someone says that you're a little bit more softer or a little bit more sensitive or a little bit more agitant or you're a little bit more verbal, so they call you antagonistic. You know, it's okay. So it's just for my lab rats, man. You know, rock that wave with me. You know what I'm saying?
And what is wordplay number 2?
That's just to come back at it because I see a lot of local artists that are kind of, you know, they're hating. That's the only way you can say it. They're hating. A lot of people are hating. I do got a lot of supporters, and man, first off and foremost, man, thank you for everything. My subscribers, people who reach out to me. I've actually got 4 pages blocked. You can't actually share that. You can actually try to grab that video. It's stuck on 55. I don't think you can share it on Facebook. They try to shut me down so much. So even though it looks like a small amount, I mean, the game ain't gonna be the same after me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not done. I'm actually finna drop another little word game I'm finna do right now, and that's just what it is, man. You know, that's for anybody who's feels like they need to put green and white hair and red hair and braids in their hair, or wear a big old Mexican flag and talk about free a Mexican, or be part of any movement that they know nothing of, in order to gain some kind of how do you call it, publicity. I just do this for fun, man. I got a message, you know what I'm saying, and my message is gonna leave a stain and a mark.
All right, well, that's the end of the interview. Anything else you would like to say?
Man, you know what I'm saying? Anything else? Anybody feel like, you know, they need someone to talk to? Anybody feel like they can fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm eating, I'm shining all day. Come get it. You know what I'm saying?